Welcome back to the baking show Conversationcast. I am Kashmere Siedah. Today we'll be working on a chocolate sugar cookie recipe, also called the Just Black cookie. I'll also be in conversation with my cousin, power to the people. Also be in conversation with my big cousin Nathaniel, or Coffee, or whatever he likes to be called in these streets. I am back in my best friend's mom's kitchen, this time joined by my best friend and her baby, who you'll hear in the background. She's getting ready for nap time. So we'll send her lots of love and light and sweet dreams. And we'll go ahead and get started with the cookies first. So with every base of the cookie, for every base of the cookies that I make, I always start with butter and sugar. Oh, I never found a spatula. Do you make cookies? Are you a baker or are you just cook?
Not really. I've tried making cookies, but I baked them on like 450 and they got like kind of burnt. So I recognize I'm a meat guy. I just stick with
Makes sense that they would be burnt. So using my scale, I measured out in grams cane sugar and Dutch processed cocoa, and I'll add the sugar to the butter. After the butter and the sugar and the Dutch processed cocoa are creamed together, I'll go ahead and add 2 eggs, and I already added vanilla extract in the eggs. When we were kids, Nathan used to fart in his hand and throw it in my face. I just had to get it out there.
I'm doing right now. I still do that. I do it to my girlfriend. I do it to my kids.
That's awful. Okay, I'm gonna use my hand mixer. I'm gonna go ahead and blend the butter and sugar and eggs and vanilla extract together.
Are you going to lick the little spinners? You gonna lick the spinner on camera?
I don't lick it, but I do like.
Bougie.
Shut up. No. Okay. So once you get the eggs and the butter and the sugar all combined, then I'll go ahead. I like to add the salt and the baking powder or baking soda, whatever leaveners I'm using. Go ahead and add the salt and the baking powder for this specific recipe. And then I'll add the all-purpose flour. Well, while I'm adding the flour to the rest of this, do you want to tell the people who you are in relation to me?
Oh, me? You know what I'm saying? I am the almighty cousin of all the cousins. I'm big cousin. I'm the big cousin brother cousin. Like, brother. I'm your cousin, but I'm your brother. But I'm your brother, but I'm your cousin. But I'm not your brother.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we go back like 4 flats on the Cadillac. I think you're the first person I actually stayed with when I came to Ohio, like and spent summers there.
Where are you coming from?
I'm Texas representing, you know what I'm saying? 210 Countdown City Stand Up, we in here. H-Town 2, you know, we represent Texas.
I know what you're saying, but okay.
Oh, I was saying San Antonio, Countdown City 210, you know what I'm saying, and throw it up. And then also the H for Houston because we visit there frequently and we love Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight out of Texas. Don't get no better. Mm-hmm. Everything's big in Texas.
Okay, so you're my big cousin brother who lives in Texas, but frequently came to Ohio as a kid. And when you were here, you stayed with us, me, my mom, my little sister.
Care Bear. Shout out to Care Bear.
Little shorty. Not only are you my cousin, first and foremost, you show up every day as a black man in this world, and as a father. And so I want to talk to you about that a little bit.
It's when I'm inside is easy, but like going out in the real world is like things is difficult. Like as even this year. So this year I had my firstborn son. Finally had my boy after trying 3 times. Got my boy, and so because I have a good job, I was blessed enough to be able to be on leave and take care of my son. And I'm trying to exercise to get right. And while I'm just walking the streets in the morning with my bat to protect myself from dogs, I get stopped by a police officer, and he starts questioning me about what am I doing, walking in the streets, and if I know anything about something getting tagged. I'm like, bro, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and you exercise gear on, and this bat is for the dogs, or what the hell do you think I'm doing at 9 o'clock in the morning? And this is a path where everyone works out at. But you stop me, you ask me for my ID, and the white people that walk by, you don't ask them for nothing. And I asked them, like, y'all have y'all's ID? They said no, because they're on a trail, and so he finally let me go. But like, he was giving me shit because I didn't have my ID while I'm exercising. So being black is not easy, because if I say what I want to say and do what I want to do, it's a problem. I'm 6 foot tall, I'm 300 pounds plus, and so people are afraid of me naturally just by my size.
I'm just gonna stop to say that I'm scooping with my portion scooper again. I scoop the dough in the spoon, level it out with my finger, and clean off the edges with excess dough, and plop it right on my cookie sheet. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a few more while I keep asking you questions. So that's some insight into what it's like just being a black man in San Antonio, Texas in 2020, which is unfortunate. There's police harassment that's ever present. And I want to talk about what it's like with your friends. Like, do you talk about these things with your black male friends? Are you talking about the way that the police are treating you? Are you talking about your mental health surrounding how that impacts you? Not only just showing up in the world, but also as a provider for your family, as a father, love, self-love, liking yourself, how that manifests itself in your life. Are these conversations that you're having?
Yeah. I mean, it's something that I was kind of forced, because like last year I had a really tough year where I had to create a support system for myself because it was rough for me mentally, tried to kill myself. And so because of that, I had to reach out to some people that are close to and kind of let them know. Luckily, one of them I've known since I was in the 4th or 5th grade, and his mom deals with mental health as well. So being able to talk to him about it has allowed me to tackle it in a different way and not be as afraid of what I was going through. Being able to kind of speak out more about it and receive the help that I needed by going to a mental facility and actually staying there for a week, or going to inpatient. I was in a mental hospital last year for a week, and then this year I spent, I would say, probably 8 to 10 weeks in an outpatient facility, intensive care, doing 8 hours a day, because like it was just that bad. So I talked to my friends about it. One of them, understands because his mom went through it. One of my other black friends, he doesn't really have the same grasp of it. His brother's dealing with it, but he's kind of handled his brother and myself the same way, which is a way that shows he doesn't truly understand, what mental health looks like and how impactful it can be. So it's one of those conversations where you can only hold it with certain people. Some people just don't understand mental health, and they can even, some of them are Christians, or they do a lot of preaching about Christianity, but when it comes to the other aspect of forgiveness, some of the other things, they're just not clicking. So it's not a conversation you can really have with just any and everybody. And even when it comes to like police brutality, or like my situation I told you about, even some of my black friends was like, well, why are you walking outside with a bat? And they're kind of justifying what the police officers did. And I'm like, bro, I can walk where the fuck I want to walk. It's a bat and it's broad daylight. It's
States you can walk with a fully loaded weapon and still you should not be harassed by the police.
I can do what I want to do. I'm not as long as I'm not bothering nobody, I should not be fucked with.
So you mentioned Black women and you have 3 girls that you're raising, and we've talked a few times about what it means to you to be raising Black women in this world, and that they have a big part of to do with the work that you put out, like the creative work that you put out into the world. So what does that mean to you? To be
my daughter
and a boy.
My daughters are my focus. I mean, like I just had my son and everything. But my daughters are my focus. I know I can teach him to be a man and he's gonna be good, and there's things he has to be worried about, but Black women have so much more against them, including Black men. Like a lot of Black men are against Black women, and they're not there as true allies, and so it's difficult. I'm afraid for them. I'm truly afraid for them and what they have to go through. Speaking of Black women, Breonna Taylor, she's not getting justice. Those cops are not going to be indicted, and it's over some BS, and that's what fear is, because I see Breonna Taylor and my own children, and that could easily happen to them, happen to you or anybody else, and it's fucked up. I don't have a better word for it. It's fucked up, and I'm afraid for my children, so I'm doing all that I possibly can to create a business for them so that when they get to a certain age, they're going to be able to have money to put them at a certain, because unfortunately, without money, you're at a disadvantage. If you're Black and you're poor, you're at a super disadvantage. So it's up to me to make sure I can give them the life that they deserve, which is not to be fucked with.
What's up? So we talked about just being parents and how your father, my uncle, raised you. We talked a little bit about that off camera. And we've also talked about how my grandfather, our shared grandfather, raised your father. So would you say that the way that you raise your girls is the way that your father raised you and your brother and your younger sister?
Nah. Dad was tough. And Dad, I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't there, because he was there, but he was so focused on career and trying to create a life for myself and my brother that we didn't have, that it took him away from the house a lot, as opposed to me. What I'm trying to create involves my children, and I need them to be a part of it so they can grow. We're a lot more close-knit. Also, me having all 3 girls back to back, as opposed to being spaced out. Dre is 16 years older than me, and today's his birthday, actually.
I saw that on Facebook this morning.
Or he's 13 years older, and Diana is 16 years younger. So, we're all separated. So I feel like just that alone causes you to be a different parent, where me having 3 girls all together, I have to blend a lot better as a dad and make sure I give everybody what they need to avoid that sibling rivalry and all that other stuff.
And you're so mindful of that. Do you mind if I read you some notes from when we had that conversation way back when?
No, go for it.
So this was just things that stood out to me about you speaking about your daughters. I asked you, what are things that you would want us, whoever's listening, to know about you as a father? And you said, I'm a protector. You said, I want to protect Black, unseen, and unheard of people. You said, I want to flip this narrative. You mentioned Megan Thee Stallion and over-sexualization of Black women. And I just thought that was really interesting, because Black men specifically, in my own experience, only speaking to my experience, there's like over-sexualization of women that carry themselves in a certain way, and a lot less protectiveness, where I think it's granted and it's always deserved. Just being human, I think we deserve to be protected and to protect each other. So it really stood out to me that was something that was really important to you, just because you do have 3 young Black girls that you're gonna raise into women and a Black man one day, and as you are. And it's interesting to me that, wow, I know how you were raised because I know your daddy and I know his daddy, that you choose to do things so differently. But the work that you've done has landed you into spaces where you've gone viral with your work with your daughters. So what was that like for you? What was the positive side of going viral? We'll start there.
It was dope. Honestly, like it was dope in a way where I knew that we were doing the right thing just organically, because like people were like, this is what I wanted to do with my dad, or when I have a child, I have a daughter, this is what I want from with my daughter, or women being like, if I come home and see my husband doing something like this with my kids, I'm gonna have a great time. Like just being so happy to see that Black fathers are active with their daughters, and we are loving and caring and nurturing and all that good stuff. It's positive to see that people can really connect, of all colors and all races, and what it can connect with just being a dad and taking care of your daughter. And it's given us the ability to just showcase like, hey, we're out here, and whatever narrative that has been created about Black fathers not doing this or that, it's all bullshit. And I'm gonna break that story as best as I possibly can.
And you're doing a really good job of that. So like, what were the not pretty parts for you and your family?
The side stuff was people talking about kids, because at the time, Athena, who was the first daughter I went viral with, she didn't have hair. She had a real big head, didn't have hair, except for like on the top, kind of like where Granddad got his at. And so, of course, because she's a baby and she was born a preemie, and so people just talking bad about my child and saying, stupid stuff about her hair. And I'm like, at that time she was maybe 18 months, and I don't play about my kids. So I was like, hey, I see that you're in Texas. I will make a trip. We can get shit cracking. I really don't care. So I mean, like it was just and it was mostly like on the World Star hip hops and stuff. For the most part, it was a nice positive response, but there was some ignorance about her hair, or people saying dumb stuff like, because she's dancing on the counter in front of the mirror, that I'm training her to be a stripper. Like, why are you sexualizing a child? What makes you think a baby in front of a mirror is gonna be a stripper? Like, what the fuck? Come on, man.
Yeah. It's like you just enjoying your daughter and doing what you've been doing since MySpace days, and
yeah. Like I've always been growing up like only kid. Like I've always like being in front of the camera and entertaining and performing or whatever. And so I include my daughters into it, but it's never one of those things where I'm like, if I record this, then I can go viral. Like, no, bro, I just like having fun with my kids and putting that out there, because you never know whose day you're gonna make. And that was one of the other beautiful things, people saying like, hey, I was having a tough day and I watched the video today and it helped me get through my day, because it was a funny, goofy video, and I could sing along or brought back my own personal memories. That's what it's about. It has nothing to do with no money or no clout, none of that. Like, it's just about good vibes and trying to make people smile.
I'm really proud of you.
Oh, that's a baby. A beautiful baby.
He was crying. Look at you.
I'm Cousin Coffee. How you doing? Beautiful. You're glowing. That baby look good on your hip,
my
girl.
glow is courtesy of Indigo Apotheosis. Thank you for noticing. I mean, he said it unprompted. That was what's up. Yeah, tell us your daughter's names. Just say your kids' names.
Athena is asleep, Ares is asleep, Aphrodite is asleep, and Achilles is asleep. Or he's eating mine.
Beautiful.
Shout out to Greek mythology, because we love that.
Okay. You did me.
There you go. Pull her hair.
The cookies are almost done. Okay, well.
I want some cookies. I need to find out we need to talk so I can purchase some cookies.
Girl, don't expose my nipples.
Seen them big ass vegan ones and them hoes, they was slapping.
My most popular. Yeah, that cookie is gonna make us very rich one day.
I need it in my life, so I'm gonna send you some ducats.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you go. I love you. Thank you.
True, cousin.
All right, bye.
Keep it up. Good work. Bye-bye.
Let's see here. We still got a couple minutes. So I was smelling the cookies, so I decided to pull them out and just take a whiff and check and see how they smell. Yeah, they need a few more minutes. We agree? Okay. You a ham bone. Yeah.
Not really.
The cookies kind of bake together because I didn't use a big cookie sheet, but that's all. It's all good. So this is the final product. It looks really fucking silly. It'll be better once it's cooled off. It's good to try. Sugar cookies, I don't really care for straight out of the oven. Like chocolate chip cookies, you know, it's not the same. I would add more chocolate to it. It's tasty. Well, I want it to be a chocolate sugar cookie. Just like a sugar cookie with a hint of chocolate. So, cause I have like a few chocolate chip cookie recipes. I'll eat this cookie though, it's good. Can we try? Can we try this cookie? It's actually good warm. Oh yeah. Okay. I can eat a cookie. Thank you for joining me for the second episode of the Baking Show Conversationcast. How am I supposed to sign off?
However you want.
Signing off. You like it? Okay. Well, my sign off is we agree the cookie is work withable. I'll keep working on it. And signing off.